What we see here is a wild display of California poppies, physalias. There's wild hyacinths. There's little white flowers called crypthantha. And there's some things I haven't seen for a long, long time. In fact, there's some things I haven't seen ever. And that's what's so wonderful about post-fire chaparral environments, because they always surprise you. And there's things that never fail to amaze you in terms of its ability to regenerate, to surprise. And really, this provides anyone who lives in Southern California a sense of place and gives a reason why it's so important to value natural systems, because this is what you get. Instead of some of the hillsides that get covered by weeds, these are covered by natives. And this is what post-fire chaparral environments are all about. A couple areas here, there's some wonderful little displays of a flower called ground pink, and it clusters in little rocky areas, little pads where nothing else grows. In fact, there's a little pad of it across the canyon. You can see it. It's a beautiful little light purple color. The chaparral environment and fire are intimately connected. And what you see here is the first stage of renewal. Fire doesn't destroy, it's just part of the system. And the system doesn't need to burn, but it does have an insurance policy in the way that it resprouts and regerminates from the soil. And the seeds have been sitting here probably for, well, at least 30 or 40 years, waiting for this moment to recover. When you look out on this native landscape, a lot of folks might say, well, this is why chaparral needs to burn. It's so beautiful afterwards. Well, it is, but it doesn't need to burn. You see these seeds that are popping up as little seedlings right now, and the wildflowers and the resprouting shrubs, they're able to adapt to fire because they have an insurance policy. It's just like folks who have insurance policies on their house for fire. They don't want their house to burn down. They have a policy so they can survive after the fire. And that's exactly what these plants are doing. They're cashing in their insurance policy in the ground as seeds and as resprouting burls so they can recover in a way that you wouldn't normally be able to if you didn't have those adaptations. Chamise is a dominant species in the chaparral, and it has an interesting response to fire. It resprouts from the burl if the fire hasn't come too soon or the wrong time of year or it's too hot. And also, it regenerates after a fire from seeds which germinate in the soil, and they're responsive to the chemicals that come out of the charred wood or the smoke. So chamise is in a special category of chaparral shrubs that both resprout after a fire and they seed after a fire. So they kind of have both strategies to allow them to possibly become one of the most chaparral shrubs. This strategy of resprouting and seeding after a fire may account for the fact that chamise is one of the most common chaparral shrubs in the state of California. In fact, it is the most common shrub on the western side of the Sierras throughout California.